finishing my last 2 classes right now. I am taking my capstone and managerial accounting, and I'll be done and I'll have my MBA the end of August, which is really exciting because it took me a long 6 years to do this. So it's definitely a rewarding moment for me. I found that since, over the course of the 6 years that I've only really networked with people that have been in my groups. And when I say networked, it doesn't really go beyond LinkedIn. And unfortunately, we haven't really been keeping in touch even on LinkedIn. One thing I've also found is that it's hard to find people that are like-minded to me and like have the same goals and career path. I found, especially in the Stanford MBA program with UCONN, that many of the people involved in the program are finance MBAs, or they have a finance background, and that's completely not what my background is or my plan is for my career. So it's hard to find something that really helps us click.
And you're more in marketing, so somebody more like-minded would have those interests and experiences in the sphere of marketing.
Yeah, so my MBA concentrations are management and marketing. So anyone who's in the marketing field or creative services or anything like that would definitely be, there's definitely synergies between the two, and like myself and that person. So one class I've actually really enjoyed was brand marketing, and it was probably because I just am very interested in brand marketing, and it's very much ingrained in what I do on a daily basis, because what I do in my profession is I essentially build brands from the ground up. So when we develop television shows, and that's, developing the characters and the tone and the mood and the story. So all of that is building a brand. And then from there, we use all those different tools and, key elements, and then we go out and license and merchandise the brand. So I thought that was definitely a really interesting class. And it's the one class that I've actually read the textbook from, front to end. And I'm almost done with my MBA. So that's telling. The biggest challenge with the MBA program has actually just been the time that you have to commit to it, and not in regards to workload, but it's actually the time that you have to be in class, because it's it takes up such a chunk of your day, and you have to plan everything else around it. And a lot of times, I hate to say it, but some of the professors just go on and on and on, and a 3-hour class really could be condensed into an hour and a half. So I think that's been the most frustrating part, just the time commitment of actually sitting in class. So I'm currently taking my last class that, one of my last classes, it doesn't require, sitting in class. It's all async. And it's kind of nice in a way, because you're held to your own schedule, and you could revisit things. If you don't understand a part of a video, you could stop it and rewind it. Whereas in a class setting, it's a little bit more difficult, because you have to interrupt the teacher while they're in the middle of their whole spiel. And sometimes you might, get nervous on, talking in front of everyone, and you don't want to stumble and say the wrong thing. So I actually, in a weird way, kind of prefer this async class. And I'm surprised, because I thought that I wouldn't like it, just because I wouldn't have that interaction, but it's turning out to be quite good. So it's funny. So right now I'm reading my coursework, because I just need to make sure I get it all done. And I'm reading Good Strategy, Bad Strategy, which is a part of my capstone. And it's a fascinating book about strategy. So if you're interested in any type of strategy, you may actually end up reading it for your own capstone. But it's so great that I actually gave it to my husband to read, and he's reading alongside me. I actually don't really listen to radio or music at all. And it's funny, because I was thinking about it the other day on my way to work, because now I've started to work back in office. I like to drive in silence, and it's usually my time when I'm able to think about things and think about different areas that I want to explore, or ways to make, efficiencies in my own life, possibly even more money. So I don't really listen to a ton of stuff, but I do read a lot of news, and I have the New York Times app. I like to see all the different alerts and things like that. And I also read a lot of like trade news for my own industry, like entertainment industry stuff, and try to integrate it as best as I can. I would definitely say LinkedIn would be the best starting place. Just send me a quick note, say, hey, Kiersten, I want to connect. I want to, see if there's any synergies with each other and ways that we can maybe collaborate. I'm always open to expanding my network and expanding it's funny, I work in TV, so I always say expanding my roster. So roster of writers, roster of vendors. So whenever someone cold calls me, I'm always like, oh, it's so great to meet you. Definitely keep in touch, because you never know if there's an opportunity in the future where we could collaborate on something. So yeah, so I would say LinkedIn would be the best first step.
That's awesome. I could have not said it better. Always be expanding your roster. All right, Kiersten, thank you so much again for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.